Howdy heck and hello H2Os, Roller Bros, and Sarah Grays alike. I'm your guy to Q, and welcome to this Ask Reddit thread. How do you feel about the recent YouTube videos profiting off of people's r/ask Reddit threads and personal experiences? I think that this is an awesome question. I'm really excited to get into what people have to say, and I'm definitely ready to respond to their opinions. Paradigm says, I would be fine with them if they did the talking instead of using the same text-to-speech. And this seems to be a pretty consistent opinion throughout the thread. Somebody below says, Sorrow TV and Soothouse Crew are good, and that is going to be said over and over again in this thread. I'm not gonna, include every time everybody's like, I love Sorrow TV, I love Soothouse, but they are worshipped in this thread. So it doesn't seem like people are completely against the idea of Reddit YouTube channels, but a lot of people do not like the idea of using text-to-speech to read the Reddit threads. I'm gonna put a poll. Let me know if you like the text-to-speech style or not, because I know a lot of people do. They find it more relaxing. They can just kind of chill out and listen to the posts be read, and they don't want to hear a person's opinion. They don't want to hear me ramble on like I'm doing right now. But let's get to more comments. They're geniuses. Minimum effort, maximum profits. Lazy as hell and a pretty crappy thing to do, but I kind of wish I thought of it. This person says they could do the talking instead of using text-to-speech programs, and this was really interesting to me because people reading Reddit posts with their voice has existed since mid-2017 as a common genre. I mean, people like H3 covered r/crappy design way before that. That wasn't really reading people's personal experiences, but you get the idea. People reading Reddit posts has been around for a while, but it seems like most people in this thread, I've read through a lot of it, seem to only know of the text-to-speech Reddit channels, which is interesting. Maybe they're just being pushed out more by YouTube than an actual person speaking right now. Not gonna lie, I watch them sometimes because I prefer the format of them over actually scrolling through the threads on Reddit. But when I actually stop to think about it, the fact that they're making ad revenue off of other people's stories, sometimes very touchy and personal ones, is pretty messed up. Videos like that take such little effort to make too, and there's other people who work their butts off trying to make decent content. I always feel guilty when I think about that, and I've started trying to avoid those videos as much as I can. So I actually think this is a pretty good point. I think if you're morally opposed to what people are doing with Reddit videos, please, vote with your watch time, vote with your viewership. Do not pay attention to Reddit videos and spend more time on content creators you think are working harder. And in my personal opinion, to complain about the popularity of Reddit videos is kind of silly. I'm not sure if this person is actually doing that, but people are always going to watch the things they want to watch. Sure, there are going to be people that are working harder and getting 10 views. There are going to be people that are much more talented and are getting 100 views per video, but people watch the sort of things that they want to watch, and if somebody's filling that need, I don't think there's anything wrong with that personally. Now, when it comes to very touchy subjects, I try not to cover super intense stories. I think the most intense I get is Let's Not Meet, and most of the time in those stories nothing super bad happens. However, all of these people are posting their stories to a public forum, and most of the time people aren't going to super small subreddits where somebody might be like, I'm posting this, but it's almost like a personal diary. Not that many people are going to read it. These people are posting it to big subreddits, and most of the posts that I cover have at least over 1,000 upvotes. So that person knew that there was a possibility that thousands of people could see their post. I will make one exception. A lot of people were saying that I should cover Raised by Narcissists, and then a lot of people also commented that that's a support subreddit, and it's not really the sort of thing that should be put in a video, and I tended to agree with that. If that's a place where people specifically go to support one another, I don't think that's the sort of thing that should be put into an entertainment video. So this comment is in a similar vein. It's a bit uncool in light of me putting thousands of hours in my channel and not earning a dime, when those videos perhaps take 10 minutes to make and getting them a crap ton of money. Copyright is a strange thing. Okay, so on this comment, copyright aside, because like a person below says, copyright on public comments would be sketchy at best. I hate to say it, but it's all kind of part of the YouTube game. Like, you could have the best content ever, and if you don't have, like, a good title, a good thumbnail, a good way to get discovered by people on YouTube, nobody's gonna see that content. And it's not that you shouldn't get rewarded for your amazing content, because I think you should, and I think YouTube should have better systems in place to allow people to discover good, smaller creators, but it's just not there yet, and people are going to watch what they want to watch, and if somebody's offering them something that they want to watch, that's just how it works. It's like capitalism, but in the YouTube space. It's a huge thing of supply and demand, and maybe eventually there will be demand for your content, or you'll figure out how to get your content discovered, and you will become popular on the platform and earn money off of what you do. And maybe all of us Reddit YouTubers, when this wave dies down, will have nothing and will not be able to get views anymore, and therefore not make money, not get our content recognized. That's just the way that the system works. Last thing I'll say about this post, it's totally cool to make fun, creative content for YouTube, and if you have no intention of having it blow up or getting a ton of views, I think that's awesome. I think that's really cool, and it's almost purely creative. But if you want to get more eyes on it, I do highly recommend checking out some channels like Nick Nimmin, Roberto Blake, Brian G. Johnson, and Daryl Eves. Those people have a lot of great tips that will make your content more visible, or at least put you on a path to making your content more visible. So this guy has a lot to say. They've really exploded, haven't they? Not just r/askreddit ones, but all sorts of subreddits are being read off by them. I don't mind the ones where the creators use their own voice, picks out posts to read, does inflections and voices, share their opinions afterward, etc. That's a good amount of effort, and those videos are certainly worth something, since they put a good part of themselves into making it unique. That just seems like fair use. However, there are also plenty of channels which are distractingly interchangeable from one another. They all use the same text-to-voice British man, similar to the same royalty-free or video game remix music, and have the text-to-voice simply read everything out straight without any corrections for misspelling or odd words that the text-to-voice bot flubs. I will actually note, I kind of find it funny when the text-to-speech messes something up, but that might just be me. These channels are devoid of any personality and add nothing past the original posts, and are clearly being made just to churn out videos for views. These are bad channels. In fact, I noticed at least 3 channels of this ilk that seem to be made by different people, yet they actually use the exact same pool of music and all end their videos by having a picture of a dog and them saying, "You've been visited by the doggo of something, you'll be blessed," or whatever, but only if you like, comment, sub. It really weirds me out that some of these channels are that similar. Let me know if you know what channels they're referring to, because I'm not familiar with all of the text-to-speech Reddit channels. I admit to having watched both types of channels sometimes. The former I have no shame for, the latter kind of ashamed, yeah. So I know that there's a concept of guilty pleasures, but I honestly don't think anybody should be ashamed for consuming a certain type of content, even if it's a text-to-voice bot. I have noticed that some of these channels do put in edits that do add something to the posts, making it more fair use, even though it's not technically copyrighted content. If you're one of the people out there that watches the text-to-speech channels, let me know why you enjoy those channels, because I do know a decent amount of you out there do watch those as well. Xander here says this may be a somewhat unpopular opinion, but YouTubers are always going to run out of content to create, so of course they're going to look for other sources. Reddit is a somewhat anonymous social app, and people are putting out their stories and experiences that they might not want to share if you could put a name to a face. I'm sure most people wouldn't share all these embarrassing memories if they knew people that knew them in real life would read it. Yes, it does suck that people are taking their stories and profiting, but why did you post it in the first place? For karma? For attention? To feel special? To get anonymous approval from online strangers? This probably sounds hypocritical of me posting my opinion, but it is my honest opinion. Do whatever you like with it. I actually think that this is an amazing point. I mean, these people clearly wanted to have some people see their post, and by Reddit YouTubers putting it on YouTube and showing it to hundreds or thousands of people, it really does just amplify what that person originally wanted from posting their story. And I do believe you could argue that some people use a website like Reddit as a journal or a diary, and that's why I think the anonymity of it is really important, because you can just create an account, say something that you want to say, and then abandon that account if you'd like, or have a main account that's just not attached to anything of you personally, and use that for sharing your stories. But I honestly think that if you think that posting to a major subreddit is shouting into a void and nobody's gonna see it, that's pretty naive. Hundreds of people will see it, and if it's good and it gets upvoted and people like it, thousands of people are going to see it. And in my personal opinion, what Reddit YouTubers like myself, Dark Dom, Geo Films, Fresh, Walter Fate are doing is transformative. We're collecting these stories, these posts, we're putting our own voice on it, bringing it to life, if you will, as stupid as that sounds, and then adding our own commentary, and I think there is value in that, just like somebody said previously. And if you'd like to monetize your own story, you can try and create a YouTube channel, make it like a story time channel or something like that, and tell your story on YouTube. If it's super interesting, people might latch onto it, share it with their friends, and you might blow up. And I mean, hell, if a story's long enough, you could turn it into like a memoir or something like that, get it published, and then it would be a copyrighted work that people couldn't rip off on the internet unless they were using that work for purposes of review or commentary, and then it would be under fair use for them to use it in that capacity. But I'd like to hear your opinion on, like, the ethics or morality of Reddit YouTube videos. I mean, it would be really cool to take this to an even more meta place by making a video about viewers of Reddit YouTube videos react to Reddit reacting to Reddit YouTube videos. I think that'd be pretty fun, so I'd really like to hear your opinions, because I know that you guys always think differently than me in a lot of ways, and I really like hearing from you. So skate on to the best of your abilities, make sure you're drinking more water, let me know if I'm a piece of crap for doing what I do. I don't think it's super original or anything, but I do enjoy it, and I want to branch out a little bit if that gets me any points for originality. But anyway, I'll see you guys very soon. Have an absolutely fantastic day.